Okay.
How was Monkey Space?
Oh, that's jump. Interesting.
How many people did you have for your tour?
I don't know. Uh,
Tens, hundreds?
Tens. I think the whole conference was about 130 something like that people, and among them like 30 speakers, and everyone was not here for the whole conference. And there were two rooms, there are two tracks mostly, and even in one room you couldn't see everyone attending because there was like an overflow one, which was more like an open space where people could sit. So yeah, but it went well. People liked it, liked Orchard.
What did you demo? Oh, okay, okay.
Orchard, yes, I do want Orchard. And yeah, the demo was pretty nice. It will be online, so you'll be able to see it. What I did is I
Did you demo it on Mono?
no, because it doesn't work.
Okay.
You read the thread. The thread has been updated yesterday. It still doesn't work. There are a few bugs still, but they are progressing. So I created a website based on a new content type, like a podcast, and I used Bootstrap as the theme, and I created a layout to project all the shows on the front page and use a detail page. And because it was a podcast, I was able to select a screenshot for the podcast and resize it and select an audio file from the media management and inject it into the front end too. Showed the search engine. What else? Custom fields. Well, custom fields. Adding fields to the show. And yeah, that's almost it, but in 1 hour, that's good, and the result was nice.
Good. So many people come up to you afterwards.
Yeah, kind of. Around 5-6 people came and were interesting, and most of them were saying, well, I knew Orchard from V1. That's different. So from 1.0 to 1.7, there's been a lot of work, they said, and yeah, interesting. People liked it. Nobody complained about anything, or say this tool is better than this other or whatever. It was good.
It's really good.
Okay. You want to give a status update?
Status.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because yeah, we haven't met since 1.7. So 1.7 is on the gallery. I've received an email, and so which means we can go release on Codeplex. So let me do it right now. First, I have to check if the gallery is ready 1.7. How do I check it? I will launch Webmatrix. You can see what I do, but I'm doing it right now because then we can release officially. Slow. So let me see. Can someone also confirm that it's really 1.7? So if I create a new website from application gallery and I select Orchard, here I can't see the version, but if I install it, skip, accept. Nick got engaged.
Yep.
This is sad.
This is sad.
Yes.
Why is this sad? She did cry. So I don't know whether that was good or bad, but you know.
Okay. And if I click start. Cooking. 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 She's slow. Done. Dashboard. This is the new media and this is version 1.7. Okay, so I removed the RC from RC. Edit. Release. Wow, we don't have a 5 ratings. 5 stars ratings. And I say show the public recommended release.
So did that guy never upped his star rating?
No, didn't.
No, it was his fault. Huh, okay, never mind.
Oh, we have a 2 rating and a oh wow.
No, we've only got a 3 rating, Sebastian. There's
I
only
mean,
one 3 rating.
No, for the new one, we have a 2 stars and a 3 stars.
Oh god.
Yeah, who cares?
There's a question actually as a rating, but we forgot. We didn't recommend not to ask question in the ratings. And too many bugs in 1.7 RC. I agree, too many bugs. But less than in 1.6. Okay. So now
It looks
status.
like we have 2 recommended versions right now. 1.6.1 is still recommended.
Okay.
I'll fix it.
I clicked. I was about to
I'll
do
fix
it.
it.
Okay. Yeah, because I clicked add. Maybe that's why. Okay. So status. I and Zoltan and Sipke and Piotr, I think, fixed a few bugs. I'm sure Zoltan, you can do better. Oh, he's not here. No, he's not here. So
No,
Zoltan,
he's on holiday.
you because you're listening to the recorded podcast, you can do better than just fixing typos and localization strings and things like that.
Actually, that was me, but
That's
he
you,
has direct access
Yeah. And
because I was doing the Hungarian translations.
Yep. So, Christian, so you have fixed the output cache bug that he found, which is nice. Also, Piotr fixed something. So we've got a bunch of fixes already in 1.x. The main change I did personally was for my demo. Because when you demo things, you realize that how stupid things are sometimes. So first, big improvement. I fixed the media and media library fields import export. So in 1.x. So now media library export import works. It was not working. And in terms of feature, I changed the table layout. Is anyone ever using the table layout? The one which creates tables as a layout. I don't think anyone is using it because no one wants to create tables, but I improved it. I made it parameterizable, which means now you can, so table is a parameter. So you can, so the idea is that grid is still a grid. You can define how many columns and rows, but now you will define what tags will separate each row and each column, which means you can do a bootstrap grid from the layout. A bootstrap grid is what? It's just a div tag with a class row for each rows. And in this row, you will have as many items or columns as you want in each row. So if you say, for instance, in this layout, you want a 3 columns layout, you will say div class row as the container for the row, and div class span 4 as the container for the item in the row. And this way you can have a nice grid with Bootstrap without having to create your custom shape. You can use a layout from the query. So it's better. I improved this the layout like this, and so this makes it usable now. This is the main feature I made, and not so much more.
Has anyone noticed any issues with the NHibernate stuff?
I haven't,
Okay, good.
which sounds good.
It's that, and I also upgraded the Remotion stuff that was
Yes,
inside it,
yeah.
but I upgraded it to the tip.
It worked.
So
Well, as long as all the tests pass and we try a few projections.
I went to your version, and the NHibernate stuff didn't pass either, so which was odd. But I'm sure it's okay. I went to their tag release, and that's what I used.
Okay. What else? So I think for the status, that's it. Now 1.7 is released, we can think about 1.7.1, fixing important bugs. So we might want to do a small triage someday to target 1.7.1, a closed one. So I have so we have also maybe new websites. Let me see if we have new websites. We have new websites. Okay, I will paste them if it works. I'm not sure. It never works. Did you get the links?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I could share too. I could share. Screen. So this.
Ooh, that situ SITUS site is quite nice.
I can
Third one
this
down.
one. Yeah.
I like that. That's a nice slideshow.
I think this one is an old one. This one is kind of nice too. Swedish. Test. Okay, I mute you, Travis, because I got some echo from you. And this one is nice. And what was the one you liked? Sidus? Yeah, this one is nice. Well, the design is nice. We don't know about the implementation, but looks good.
Oh, it uses O-forms instead of the custom forms module.
So that's an old website.
Must be an old one.
Good ones. Also, Git. So we'll move to Git next week.
Sweet.
So I need your approval for the schedule. It's better to do it on Monday and Tuesday on a Monday and a Tuesday, it can take 1 or 2 days to migrate everything. So, and they prefer to do it at the beginning of the week in case it takes longer and it overflows on the weekend. So they want to start on a Monday and a Tuesday or a Tuesday. What I did to prepare for the Git migration is that I backed up all the forks on Orchard, something like 300 forks on my machine. It took like 2 days to pull everything, and which means that because when we migrate to Git, all the forks will be lost, which means all the pull request forks and all your custom forks for custom development will be lost. So we'll send an email to everyone and publish a message publicly. And if you miss the deadline, you will still be able to request your fork, your lost fork, to me. And so I have backups, and I will do an update, which means a pull to all the forks just before the migration. So we have an up-to-date values. We will also have to close all the pull requests. So that anyone can receive a message of a warning of it, an explanation, and we'll ask you to recreate your pull request if they still make sense, because lots of them have been either approved or the bugs have been fixed, but you haven't removed or deleted the forks and the pull request associated. So that's how we'll do it. Does everybody agree on the next week time frame?
Yep.
So everybody means, is Piotr here? Yeah, Piotr is here.
Yeah, Monday's fine.
Okay, so I will send a request, and we can publish the text for the announcement. I already had Bertrand review the text, and he liked it. So I will show it to you if you want to see Git. How can I share it? On my screen? No. With a link? How do we share text online? A GIST? Oh yeah, GIST, because we can review it. Nice. Language. Okay. Create public GIST. Okay, and then share the link. So I can share my screen too. So by the end of July, we'll be moving the Orchard sources hosted on Codeplex from Mercurial repository to a Git repository. This won't impact or affect Orchard's users, but Orchard's contributors might need to act before this move. Forks, all the current forks on the complex.
Well, end of July is tomorrow.
Yes, so I'll change it to beginning of August. When I wrote it, it was, but then I left. So all the current forks on the Codeplex website relative to Orchard will be deleted as part of this move. If you have forked Orchard and you need to keep that fork, you can clone the fork and keep it locally, or you can find somewhere else to push it. Alternatively, we are doing a backup of all of them as of today's state, which you can request later on if you are not able to clone it in time. We will keep this backup for a few months only. Pull request. Your chat team will decline all the currently active pull requests. So how do I edit it? will decline all. Where is this? Will decline all the currently active pull requests. Date. Before we move to Git. The result of this action is that you will receive a notification and will have to recreate it once we have completed the move. We will not be accepting any pull requests until this move is complete. Please wait to initiate new pull requests until that time. Orchard's commit history will be preserved, including branches. If you've contributed to Orchard, your contribution will still be included in the commit history. All other areas on the Orchard project, URL issues, discussions, will remain as they are. So it's very beautifully written. And you can imagine I copy-pasted most of it. From the NuGet team, and yeah, we did the same thing.
Say why we're doing this.
Because we have nothing else to do, no?
Yeah, put that in there. We've got nothing else to do. So.
Okay, interesting. So, this won't impact. Oh yeah. After the first sentence, we can add some little text to explain it. Do we really want to explain? Yeah. Because of the branching system? Because we think it is better than Mercurial?
I wouldn't say because we think it's better than Mercurial. I think it, for us it's because we want to, iterate quicker and just do things in a bit of a different way. That's all.
No, not really.
I wouldn't give anything that is going to be a question of opinion, and that could cause a debate. The debate has already happened. So.
Okay. Or maybe we just say that Git fits better in with what we want to do in the future.
Again, that's triggering new debate, which we don't necessarily want to spend time on. So,
okay.
My opinion. If people still want to, I mean, it's probably better to have this debate on the discussions forums and not especially trigger it from there.
I just figure that
decision is made. I mean, this is announcing a decision. It's not a call for debate.
Well, no, I'm not debating it. Yeah, but okay.
Yep. So this we'll post it on the discussion forum, we'll put it on the mailing list, on the website, and maybe as a message to all the pull requests too, to explain why the pull request is declined if people don't follow the public channels. Yep. And yeah, so for some time you won't be able to push anything, but that's okay. You can do it locally, and then we'll have to maybe give some links to how Git is different for people who use it. And
yeah, we will have a few doc topics to update here.
Also, yeah, and also to download the code, and yeah.
Particular the one on source code enlistment.
Oh yeah, or contributions maybe too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
I updated orchardproject.net 2.217.
Okay. Maybe you should send an email on the mailing list to announce 1.7 is ready.
Yeah.
So do we start the demo from Damien?
Sure.
Okay, you can go, Damien.
Good day, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I did a bit of a demo a couple of months ago. I'm sort of still working on 1.6. It's been updated with a bit of feedback from that, some other features I've done. I talked to Sebastian last week about his ideas for deployment. And I think what I've done is basically just around moving content between Orchard instances, rather than sort of fully moving a site with features and modules and all of that sort of thing. So let's do a quick demo. Is my screen up?
Not for me. But only Benedict cares.
I can see your screen.
Good go.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. So basically I've added a what I've called a deployable part that you can attach to a content item. And this gives, once you've set up, a link to a different Orchard instance. So I've set a couple up here, a staging and a dev Orchard instance. I can either deploy it directly to that other instance or queue it to do a batch deploy. So if I send my page and we can see the status, so it's just been sent successfully to staging. And if I jump into my other Orchard instance, it's been pushed across to the other Orchard. So these are two tenants, but it works using the web API. So it could be a different site completely. I can also queue a page for deploy. And this is so that you can set up a batch of content that you want to send all at once. So this is the deployment section. So we have our sources and targets. So here we can add an Orchard instance and set up a user which the content will be imported, the user will run as. And then what we do is set up a subscription which configures what content we want to send out to our target. So if we have a look at this export to staging, it's a bit like, it's very similar to the import-export module screens. So we choose a target, in this case staging, and you can either choose a query. So this is the projection query that you could use to filter the content that you're sending, or you can pick content types. So I've just chosen to pick pages. I've got three options to filter. You can either just send all content across. This is very similar to basically exporting a content type using import-export and then importing again at the target Orchard instance, or you can choose to only send queued deployment items. So that one we've just seen that I ticked to queue. And you can choose metadata or data. So if the content type doesn't exist on the target, you'll need to also export metadata. And we can also run this on demand or create a schedule so that it repeats to check if there's anything being queued in a period. Then you could run it on a repeating task, background task. What I've got is this download, basically downloads the recipe that will be sent with the next run of this subscription. So we can see the one that we've queued, the page to sender staging, is one item. That's the recipe basically that's going to be sent across to the other tenant. And we can run this now. And if we look at history, we can see that's the last one that's just run. We can download the recipe that was sent and see messages. Now it's actually run on staging because it's an export. So if we jump into the corresponding deployment section on the target, we can see this one that I just ran.
It's very nice and it's free.
Yeah, so we can see here this basically shows the recipe that was run on the target. And we can see successfully imported one item. And it goes both ways, so you can either do an import or an export. So you can push content out to a target, or you can pull in. I could set up basically an import to import directly a set of content from another Orchard instance straight through the GUI. Another nice feature is workflows.
Workflows, I like it.
So we could set up a workflow,
What?
which is
This thing is extensible?
yeah. So some of it, basically the targets are extensible. So at the moment I've set up a target as an Orchard instance, but it could push to a file system, or basically just, it's basically about pushing recipes around. Or individual items just pushes a single content item's XML and imports that directly. So if we create a workflow on content published, and on publish you want to deploy.
Or maybe a user task. Like I create,
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
I create a content, I review it, and when someone says, okay, it's not a publish button, it's more than a publish button, it's deploy button. And it clicks on deploy and it goes on the production.
Exactly, yeah.
Wonderful.
So in this case, I've configured that the page deploys on published. And I need to pick, I can choose a target or one or more targets. So pick staging. And I've got two options, either deploy immediately or I can use that queue option so that it can be batch deployed.
It makes more sense to do it with another event than the publish, because when it's published locally, why move it directly to the production? It's usually, there is another step. Okay, it's published, I can see how it renders, and now I want to deploy it. But we can do whatever workflow you want. It's just, yeah.
So if we start that now, if I create a new page, and republish that one.
Did you save the workflow?
Oh, I didn't say the workflow.
Yeah, we need to fix that. We need to prevent you from leaving if you haven't saved it.
Yeah. Let me.
Well, if you go back, you should come back to your editor, and it's on local storage, so the URL will pick it up.
Okay, let me try that. Okay, great.
You see, and now you save. Because it's saved, but on your client.
Right.
And now it's on the server.
Excellent. So I just need to start that, and I'll try that again.
Save.
Save. All right.
So it's a bug I made on purpose so that people could contribute. If I do everything, you have nothing to do and you feel useless.
Okay. That's better this time. So that's pushed to staging on publish. And if I jump across to staging, it's just been pushed across. And that's about it.
So automatic deployment might be interesting for specific content items which need to be synchronized between nodes. Like for instance, okay, I create a user on one node, push it on the other one automatically. I don't need to review it. So just an example.
Yeah, so basically anything, or if you have a staging and want to review it on staging and then push that across, as you say, as part of a review process or something like that.
Yeah. Or a master slave, let's say you have a production environment and a staging environment, and if you do a change on the production environment, you want it to be pushed automatically on the staging. Okay, it's because it's approved, it's on the production. How do you do with security between nodes to push and pull?
To ask about that. Yeah.
I saw username password.
Yeah, I'm not satisfied with that.
Bad.
I don't think this should be.
Tell it it's bullshit. So the idea is, I think, will be to create a kind of an application key.
Yes.
And share it between instances. So you don't tie it to a username and password because you don't have to save password and save username. It's application key, like Google forces us to do right now. If you use a Google API, you need to create an application key for each of the applications. So you can revoke each of the application.
And in addition to that, you could add some kind of certificate to the recipes that you transfer. Some kind of signature to further ensure that you don't have any malicious payloads.
Or man in the middle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty basic at the moment.
That's very nice. That's basic, but better than anything we could imagine.
There could also be an option to actually enter your password every time you do a publication, if you remain password based. But having application keys, secret and public ones, and some certificates would probably be better.
Yeah, so I mean, at the moment, I started looking at doing a private key, but it needs to run on the other end as a user anyway. But I think, we could use a key and set that up on the target Orchard instance. But yeah, that's about it.
Thanks. So next step that I think, so I will publish the design, the draft I have written on the forum. I publish it, and it will be open for discussion like we did for the previous modules. I hope there won't be too much discussion because. Well, it's good. Last time I suggested something, it was discussed so much that it went. We created workflows based on that, and I didn't want to create workflow at first. But it's very good to discuss. But I'm afraid that people have so many ideas that we won't be able to, or we will be able to ship it in 9 months. like we did for the 1.7. But so what I imagine is almost used by Damien everywhere is just more modularizing. Like you showed in your screen a way to select a query or to pick up items in the same screen. The way I envisioned it is more modularized, so you could have different what's called aggregators to select which item to push, and this way it's also extensible, so people could come up with different ways of selecting items. And also exchanging data is also extensible, so you could use Web API or you could use FTP, file system, Git, whatever, completely extensible. And same thing for deployment. And also the big difference is that after some discussions, we think that we should be able to migrate not only the content, but also static files and modules. So if you do a template change locally, you will be able to push it on another machine. So that's the goal. And everything should be pretty simple to do. So I will publish it this week on the forum and see how people react about that. Yep. We'll try to see how we can organize the efforts, and if we can take some things from you, Damien. We'll see. Like we did for the import-export. Any question about this topic? People? Good. So Git done, demo done, what else? Websites done. Informal triage, maybe for important bugs that some people might have found. Is there something in 1.7 that makes you feel angry whenever you use it, guys, that we should fix now?
There is one thing I'd like to change slightly, and that's the Lucene, the way that you inject the Lucene analyzer.
Lucene analyzer.
Yeah, at the moment it's a static method on something or other. I can't remember what it's called. And I'd like to take that out and push it into dependency so that I can change it out for a different one.
Can you repeat it?
So the Lucene analyzer in the file. Hold on, I'll tell you the file name now.
Okay.
So you can.
Oh, I see what you mean, the analyzer. Okay, because today it's like an ASCII analyzer or a standard analyzer. The analyzer is the thing which parses a text and based on different languages, you might want to use different analyzers. And today it's not. You can change it.
And also, I want to introduce a Snowball one as well, but that's to my Lucene contrib module. So. But I need to make changes to Orchard in order to make this work. I've already made the changes, so I'll raise a bug and push it, but I'll run it by you first, Sebastian, obviously. So.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm seeing that I'm pointing to a previous version of Lucene.
You should be pointing to 3.0.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a static constant in the code. Which
I've already seen that. I'll make that change at the same time. So I'll make that change. I don't think that version makes much difference in what we're doing at the moment. So I wouldn't worry about that.
What is the file you're mentioning?
So the file I'm mentioning is actually the file that you're looking at. It's probably called Lucene Index Provider.
Looking at? How do you know I'm looking at it?
Or Lucene Search Builder. It's one of those two. A leucine index provider. I've already taken it out. That's why.
Okay.
So
okay.
in there, it's probably around line 54. You can see the static.
Yep, standard analyzer. How should we make it extensible with an interface and I analyzer provider, and we can say it which one and.
Already done it, so I'll just push it.
Okay.
I created an iLeucine analyzer provider, and it's an iSingleton dependency, so it should be the same. So it should be fine.
Or the other solution is to have a default implementation which will use the settings to let users select which analyzer they want.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Because usually they will use the common ones, which are provided with Leucine. But we need to be able to extend it on top of that. So having the default implementation use the settings might be interesting. And anyone can also provide another implementation which won't use the setting, but instead provide a hard-coded one with their module.
Yeah, there's just so many, but yeah, that might be ideal. Yeah, maybe.
So if I look at all the implementation,
or we just leave the default. We just create a default one and don't present the user with a choice, and then the contrib module will present a choice to the user. That would be a better way of doing it.
Maybe the question is, should it be a contrib or should it be? Because I see white space analyzer. What do we have also?
There's not that many.
Keyword analyzer.
White space, stop, simple, per field, and keyword.
And maybe we also want to do that with the tokenizers.
Is that the stuff inside the analyzer? Maybe.
Okay, I check. Okay. But yes, we need to. But that's not really a bug in once. It has always been the case. So yeah.
No, but I'd like to push it for 1.7.1 or something like that. It's not a change to functionality. It's just a change to the way something's done. So.
Okay. Make a pull request, so I can comment on it.
No, I'll make a fork and then I'll make a pull request.
That's the issue, yeah.
I'll do it after. I'll do it when you do Git.
Well, the advantage with Git is because people have commit rights on the repository, we will be able to create branches for that on the main repository. So you won't have to create your own fork, and we can delete those branches or then merge them and rebase them and everything.
Well, you can delete them when you merge them, and that makes life so much easier. So.
Yeah.
Oh, can you actually? Can you do that in Coplex?
You can do it in Git. Done.
You can do it in GitHub. Yeah, but in GitHub, you've got that nice green button, and then it gives you the option to delete.
Yes, to merge, yeah. And
does Coplex do the same?
No, you will have to do it from your own. Well, you do it locally and you push, it will change it. You see?
Alright.
So, not sure we'll do it right now, but I will check the issues to see what's very high priority for bug fixing on 171. Personally, I found some quite annoying issues with the media management. For instance, if you have, if you select a media other than an image, the summary view is empty. So you don't even see the file name. That's not really a bug, but yeah, that's sad. Also, some pull requests that I have said could not make it in 1.7, should only make it in 1.7.1. I think one from Daniel Dabrowski wrote PL on Codeplex. Yep. I'm sure if Zoltan was here, he would have given us a bunch of really annoying issues. Yeah, I look around all the proposed items.
Oh yeah, and I will have a fix for the containers, which is there for quite a while. The security issues with containers and the bad workarounds. We discussed it, Sebastian, before 1.7. That it should go to 1.7.
I think there was a discussion, but I think also I remember that I should really read what I was written by, because you were 2 or 3 guys discussing it. I can't remember. And I was like, okay, I read it later because it was not obvious that there was a security. Oh, the display thing? Yeah, I need to think about it.
There's quite a few issues with containers that I have already fixed, and it's just on my fork. So yeah, we can discuss it later.
Okay.
Oh, is this getting rid of the container?
I don't think so. I'm looking at the bugs right now. 65 proposed.
Oh, Nick, yeah, exactly about this one.
Oh, right. So okay, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
So let's see how 1.7 goes. Now it's officially released, and maybe start pushing 1.7.1 in a couple of weeks. If you can also focus on fixing bugs, that would be great. Take one bug, adopt a bug for 10 minutes. Oh, something interesting. And I saw a Monkey Space. They were saying that, for instance, Mozilla, they don't fix intentionally some easy bugs, so that people can contribute and have a first step into the project. So maybe we could create a category of easy fix bugs, so people can try to fix them. And
those are for me, though. I thought the easy bugs were for me.
Yeah, but you don't fix them either. So we have even easier bugs, but Zoltan take them. Yeah. So Iran and Colombia. So I've just been told on Skype that it's not Colombia but Colombia. I'm lost. Is it in English or in Spanish or whatever? How do you say Colombia in English? Colombia?
Colombia.
O-M-B-I-A, and not yes, Colombia. So I have to fix the homepage then. Yeah. Maybe Colombia is Colombia.
I'm fixing it.
Thank you. Okay.
I would have a little addition. So, as you know, the translation tool has been updated with the 1.7 strings, and we have the first 3 countries with a complete translation for 1.7, and France won. I suspect it was Antoine or someone from Europe, because the lunch break was very specific, almost the same as mine. The second country is Hungary, and the Netherlands is the third one. So congrats to us.
Which ones are complete?
The Netherlands, France, Hungary, and the Netherlands. yeah, so that's
It's
it.
Europe. Everyone speaks English. Do you need any other language?
That is another example of British imperialism.
No,
Yes, it is.
I went.
Shut
No,
up.
because I went to Hungary and a comedian was on the street and he said that. So.
Oh, argument from authority. Better and better.
A comedian in Hungary.
Yeah,
He was on the street
that's
in
some
Budapest.
authority.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Comedian / homeless person. It could be anyone.
you may be right partially. I mean, you have to speak English because, yeah, why not? But I like to speak Hungarian, so we need this language, and everyone else need their languages.
English imperialism.
Oh, also something. Some few people have asked me about a specific module. The idea is to extract the blob storage from the Azure solution to make it a module, so that you could use, for instance, the storage provider on blob storage from Azure if you're on Azure websites. And it's very easy, just copy pasting and adding a setting so that you could change the API also, and that's it. So I might do it because there is not much to do, and people are requesting it.
The Azure stuff that we've got in almost like a separate project. How relevant is that nowadays?
It works. Yeah, it works. People are using it. Some people are using it. Some people are requiring it. Also, so one of the reasons is the staging publish feature that you have on cloud services, because you can swap two instances with one click, and you don't have it on Azure websites. On Azure website, you can do it by using the traffic manager, for instance, having two websites and redirecting at some point all the traffic to another website. You can do it now since last week with the traffic manager. You can also change DNS, for instance, switch DNS. So you assign the DNS on one website and you assign the DNS on the other website when you want to switch, but there is no button like switching for a station. So that's one reason, staging and Node. Another reason might be to be able to use also workers on your Azure cloud service. So you can ship the website and workers on your own on the same cloud service. I have been given another reason. I forgot about it because I'm working with a customer right now who needs to be on Azure Cloud Service. I can't remember why. Yeah. So, and having also blob storage on Azure websites might be interesting because in terms of performance, it's provide the static files will be provided by a separate domain. So it might make it faster. Also, maybe the blob storage is faster than the Azure website file system if you need to serve static files, or if you have big files to serve, like videos and everything.
Okay. I just wondered if the code in there we still need it, but it sounds like we do.
Yes,
so.
yes. Okay. I will try to make a list of what makes Azure Cloud Services required. But yeah, there are less arguments now. There is Azure websites. By the way, the NuGet.org website has been migrated to Azure websites a few weeks ago. So they were using the cloud services like we do, and for the gallery, and now they are on Azure websites. Maybe since they have also I have to talk to them. Maybe since there is the Azure Traffic Manager, which lets them switch which instance can be used. I have to talk with them.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So next week we do triage.
Yes, I'll fix. I think what I think are very important, and we'll see.
Yeah, and other people can take bugs and try to fix them.
Yes.
Um,
Some of them on 171 are already assigned and also are categorized as high priority, high impact. So if you see them and you want to fix them, sometimes they are easy to fix, do it, please. And we also move to Git next week, so we'll have feedback on the Git migration. And maybe time to explain how to do things in Git, by the way.
yeah. Okay, great. We'll see you next week then. Zoltan, you did you wanted to make a demo last week. What happened to that?
He's not here. He's on holiday,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I'm sure he will do that demo
Okay. Great.
sometime.
Okay. Well, see you all next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye bye. See ya.